Hi, how are you today? So in this video, I'm taking a look at an oddity from the past. This was an item sold by Radio Shack back in the day. I'm not exactly sure what year or what years this would have been sold. I'm guessing probably late 70s to sometime in the early to mid 80s. That's my rough guess. So this is called a private TV listener. And we take for granted nowadays, a lot of headphones nowadays have built-in volume control. But back when I was a kid in the 80s, I remember headphones were much more primitive and much more simple. And a lot of them didn't have their own individual volume control. So I think to compensate for that, Radio Shack came up with this private TV listener. Now you can see the original price is right there on the packaging. It was $3.95. Not sure what that would be in today's currency, but I bought this secondhand. This was definitely a secondhand find for me, and the price tag, what I paid for it, is still on it. I paid the grand total of 50 cents for this thing. Mostly just bought it as a curiosity. I really didn't have any intention of actually using it. It just looked really interesting to me. So, and by the way, this package was already opened when I bought it. I didn't even do this. It was like that when I bought it. But I bought this a few years ago, and I just kind of put it aside and forgot about it until recently when I dug it out. And yeah, so I'm finally going to have a look at it with you in this video. So I'll take it out of the package, and basically it's a very simple little amplifier. So you see it says Archer Private TV Listener, and it has a very long sort of cord on it. And from what I understand, basically all you did was you'd plug this end into your TV or radio that had a headphone jack, and it ran into here, and then you would plug in your personal headphones over, there's a jack over here on the right hand side, and then you had your volume control. So you could start at minimum and turn it up to maximum. Just like that. And you could adjust the volume to suit your own personal preference. And that was pretty much it. Now, I think this thing actually did come with a simple earphone or a simple headphone, but it does seem to be missing. There's actually, funny enough, the clip that goes around your ear is included, but the actual headphone piece is not. But I'm just going to read to you on the back of the packaging. There's some very basic instructions, and I'll just very briefly read that to you. So it basically says the private TV listener provides a remote volume control when you are using an earphone with your TV or portable radio. And the 15-foot cord allows much more freedom of movement than regular earphones. So I guess that was another selling point of this thing, that this cord, as you can see, is nice and long. As it says, it's actually 15 feet or 4.6 meters. That's very, very long. So basically it says to use the private TV listener: 1. Set the TV radio volume control to minimum. 2. Insert the plug at the end of the private TV radio listener cord into the earphone jack on your TV or radio. 3. Insert the plug on the earphone into the jack on the private TV listener. Insert the earphone into the round hole in the ear clip. Yeah, so you would stick it in that little hole there on the ear clip. Number 5, place the earphone in your ear and adjust it for maximum comfort. 6, set the private TV listener volume control to the middle position and adjust the TV radio volume control for a comfortable listening level. And 7, use the private TV listener volume control to adjust the listening level for different program material. So that's basically it. It was basically a very simple little amplifier that you could use for radio or TV. And I did notice down here, if you look carefully at the jack, it looks like it's strictly mono. It's a mono looking connection. So But yeah, and funny enough, when I think back to when I was a kid, that was pretty much the way it was for a lot of earphone jacks at that time, whether it be on a cassette recorder or a TV or a transistor radio. They were all mono. Everything was mono back then. I think, again, people nowadays take for granted everything nowadays is stereo and Atmos and, you know, all this very high-end audio. But back then, a lot of this stuff was mono and mono only. So it's interesting. I actually, in a future video, and this is something else that came from Radio Shack, I have a jack, a headphone jack, that I still don't fully understand how this works, but it basically claimed on the packaging that it would convert a mono signal to stereo. Yeah, I don't understand that at all, but I'm going to dig that out, and in a future video I'll be talking more about this supposed mono to stereo plug that, yeah, I don't understand how that works, but it supposedly transferred mono to stereo. So that's my look at this little private TV listener. Definitely an oddity from the past. I've never actually used this thing. Again, I bought it a while ago and just kind of put it away and forgot about it. But I'm sure it probably still works. And again, I really have no specific use for it. I just bought it as a curiosity, as a conversation piece, and being that it was just 50 cents, I couldn't pass it up. So that's my look at this little device, and if you've ever had this device or used something similar to it, please feel free to leave a comment. Let me know. Tell me all about it. Tell us all about it. Feel free to leave a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do. It's always greatly appreciated. It really helps my channel grow. So thank you so much. We'll see you again next time. Take care. Bye-bye.